One of the ways that I use is herbal detoxing.
Herbal, okay.
Yeah, so one of the things that I discovered, and I learned this in pharmacy school.
Okay.
50%, almost half of, prescription drugs, they were made based on plant-based derivatives. Meaning you'll have a drug made and there'll be a plant out in nature that it based its chemical structure on to make the drug.
Okay.
Now you're probably asking yourself, like the smart people out there, well, why wouldn't you just use the plant?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is, you can't patent plants. You can't patent nature. You understand that? So if you can't patent it, it means that any Joe Blow can come along and get soursop to get that mega dose of vitamin C to help with their cancer, to help with any type of infection.
Yeah.
But if I take that plant-based structure and make a synthetic chemical structure of it,
I can patent
that.
And
now I can charge you $1,000. I can charge you. So, did you see? It was a couple of years ago. I think in like 2017 or something. There was a guy who bought a HIV drug company, and he decided to sell the drugs for $10,000. Like they raised all kind of craziness about it, but like. That's the madness that occurs. And what people don't understand, because I work for the FDA, as a graduate student, what people don't understand is like the FDA is not doing the clinical studies. The drug companies are actually doing the studies for themselves for their own drug. And then they're bringing them studies and saying, look what I did here.
Right.
Now imagine if you had a child, checking their own homework. They're going to get 100 every time.
Every time.
And so that's what I mean by how herbs are really a great source of not only detoxifying the body, because we know if you eat something like parsley, cilantro, basil, they remove heavy metals from the body. Just by incorporating those type of things in your diet. So just imagine if you use medicinal herbs that are now not only pulling out the heavy metals, but they're also pulling out the toxicity from the food chemicals. They're also getting your gut to function again, so now you're not constipated. They're also getting all of those toxins out of the liver and opening up all of those other elimination pathways to get those toxins out of the body. So that's why I thought to myself, well, I've been on this side with drugs. I can do the same thing with herbal, remedies, put together some herbal blends and create a full body detox to get people to get all these toxins out of the body. But not only that, to get rid of the parasites and the yeast in the body too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, because I want to make sure people get access to this info, like, do you teach this on your platform, like on your YouTube channel, on your website? Yeah. Do you have a course that walks us through from point A to point B? Here are the steps you need to make to make these changes? Yeah,
the beautiful thing is like, man, I have an amazing following. Like people, I literally listen to them and let them tell me what they need.
Yep.
Because what I need and what they need are going to be totally different.
Right.
And so my journey has been like, I wrote the book, Vegetation Over Medication. I'm like, all right, so people who learn that way, they'll learn through the book.
Okay.
And if you go to Amazon, it's like 1,300 5-star reviews on it. And then the Detox came, and the Detox came because I made that for me. I never thought it was going to be a product.
And is it something that I could, can I buy it from you?
Yeah, it's on my website.
Do I have to make it myself?
No. When you get it, it's a herbal blend. You just make teas with it.
Make teas with it?
You're just taking 2 tablespoons, putting it into 32 ounces of water, letting it sit overnight, and it, of course, the medicinal components come out in the water. And you drink those the next day, 2 herbal teas.
And do you do those herbal teas with no food that day?
No, you can eat your ass off. But only plant-based foods. So only fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds.
Okay.
Okay, and why? Because those are cleansing.
I got
the
you.
last thing we want to do while you're detoxing, getting toxins out of the body.
Put toxin back into it.
Yes, so.
Like I'm going to do today after this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that chicken in this. But so your philosophy is plants, fruits, nuts, and seeds.
Yes.
No fish, bro?
Nah, man.
I can't have just, baked fish, no seasoning?
Nah. Let me give you 2 examples. I had a colleague who's also that's a physician. She was trying to figure out what was going on. She was getting these anxiety attacks. Sometimes her hands would stop working, and depressed, etc. She would go to the doctor. They would take her vitals normal. Okay? We went back and forth. She finally called me and said, look, I'm at a point where, like, I don't know if I can continue to do this. And I was like, what is this? She said, life. I said, well, let's sit down. So we go through and we do like a 58 question evaluation. And as I'm asking her these questions, what I'm noticing is that she's pescatarian. Okay? And so the first thing that went off in my mind after asking her all of the symptoms, I'm like, it sounds like you have heavy metal toxicity, specifically mercury. So go to your doctor, get tested for the mercury, see what happens. She goes to the doctor, gets tested for the mercury. They're at a level where she should be dead. I remember one time in the pharmacy, you know, the old school thermometers, they used to have mercury in them. We dropped one. We had to call the hazmat team to pick that up. We can't even do it.
You can't even do it yourself.
And they can't even do it ourselves. Okay, so that's how dangerous mercury is. Okay, her levels were at that level. All right, so did her on a detox. Within 28 days, all the symptoms resolved. Okay, the mercury was coming from the fish. So that's one example. Okay. Another example, because one of the primary fish that people like to eat is salmon, okay?
Yes.
What people didn't just recently found out about salmon a couple of years ago is they make a genetically modified version of it. Did you know that? Yeah, so they make a genetically modified version. I think it was created in Canada. And then they started putting it in, you know, because it comes from Alaska and that area around Canada, okay? And so they take this genetically modified version and somehow incidentally combine it in the same waters with the natural salmon. You know what the genetically modified version started doing? You can look this up. It started eating the natural salmon.
Oh, it's a wrap.
Like it started being, it started eating, like you can look this up. Like this, I'm not making this up. It's not a video. It's like it really happened. So what's really important is that. And then the third thing I'll tell you is that because the waters are so polluted in the ocean today.
Yeah.
You remember when they had that Fukushima incident in Japan and that radiation spilled out into the water?
Yeah.
Well, what people don't realize is that radiation continue out into the Pacific. Like, they found that radiation even on California, even on California.
You got me here itching, man. Like, what's happening?
They found it as far as California's coast. Okay, so like a lot of the fish you'll see today, you'll notice like when fishermen are catching fish now, they're going inside of their mouth, pulling things out. Those are parasites. They're pulling parasites out of the fish mouth. So that's why I'm saying, like, you know, I know I'm like I feel like I'm like the party pooper.
You really are, Doc, because I'm hungry. And I'm still gonna eat this chicken, but you got me thinking like, I'm about to eat some parasites.
But the thing is, like, it was like I was telling you, brother, like, we're so misinformed here because they filter the information out. Like, it's a consumer society, so everything is based on production, everything is based on demand, everything is based on you buy this for this. But if you do the research, and you have to do specific research because otherwise, like I said, it's going to be 50-50. But if you do the specific research and say genetically modified salmon, you're going to see the brand. You know, if you do the research and say mercury in fish, you're going to see that mercury is very prominent in fish today.
All right, man.
You good, bruh?
I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not happy about what you said. I'm going to be real here at the table. And I'm going to do my research.
Please do.
I'm going to get your book. I'm going to read your book. We're going to drop the link to his book in today's show notes. He has an amazing YouTube channel, an amazing Instagram. That's where I first heard about him, on Instagram. And then he even has some other things as well on his website to really walk you through courses on what, how we can all get better. And I think, you know, I'm 38, man, and I don't have a wife yet. I don't have any kids. And I do understand the importance now at this age to where I do have to take my health a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Because I want to be around to meet my grandkids one day.
For sure.
And I know I can kill the gym. I can get the six-pack easy. I can get the chest, the arms back easy. But I know that the true science to being healthy is what we eat and what's inside of our bodies.
For sure.
And so I want to thank you for coming by the show, man, to gut check me. You know, you got me. I was literally itching. I was literally itching my legs. Like that's, I mean, come on. How the fake fish gonna be eating the real fish?
Indeed, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's scary, and no one's talking about it. Like, well, people are talking about it, but it's not like, hey, y'all, we need to be healthier.
Yeah.
And so we're going to put all the facts in front of you to become healthier.
Yeah.
So you can live longer, so you can. And here's my thing, too. I want to end here, and we got 2 minutes. Is it true? I was with my with one of my doctors, not one of my doctors, my doctor. He said, man, you need to start eating more veggies. And he told me you should become a vegetarian. He said, because veggies actually helps your sex life.
Yes. Man, that was one of the, when I told you about my initial journey, and when I went plant-based, I told you I lost 45 pounds.
Right.
You know, and I didn't look like a big guy. I just looked like I played football.
Right.
And when I lost the weight, I specifically remember my girlfriend at the time saying, I don't like all this weight loss, but what we got going on in the bedroom now, I'll take it. But that was the first time, brother, I was like, wait, what do you mean? What? I thought we was good.
I don't like the way you're looking, but God, dog. Are you serious?
Yes, brother. And that was the first time I realized how much women, play to our egos.